Weartesters.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy NY Jumpman23 here from Weartesters.com, here to give you a performance review of the brand new Nike Kobe AD. First, the traction on the Kobe AD. Traction on the Kobe AD uses a micro tread traction utilized all along the forefoot of the shoe itself, while using a similar traction pattern utilized in the Kobe 6. And the forefoot, you might have seen it, or similar, what they call nodules, what they use in the Kobe 10. This pattern was, influence, I guess you can say, on the new Kobe AD itself. Did the traction pattern work? On clean courts, very much so. On dirty courts, you might have to occasionally wipe a lot more, especially on the heel. The heel's where I had a lot more slippage more than usual, especially when backtracking, trying to prevent someone to drive to the hoop on defense, where I caught myself where I planted my heel and I kind of slid back a little, or more than I preferred. So occasionally I had to rely on a lot of pressing down on my forefoot where the lunar cushion is, and I personally prefer a lot more responsive zoom unit, if anything. The traction does work, however, it's something I would tell Nike to reconsider in regards of, if you're going to use the traction pattern, stay consistent with it, or something more of a base in terms of the pattern where it helps you hold onto or grip onto the floor a lot better. This one didn't work as well as I wanted to, particularly if you're playing on a dirty floor. But if you're playing on a clean floor, it works, but it's not as solid as I want it to be. The cushioning. The cushioning on the Kobe AD utilizes a mixture of a heel zoom unit and a lunar foam midsole on the rest of the extension towards the forefoot. Personally, not my preferred usage, especially with like increasing technologies like Boost or Jetlon foam and stuff like that. However, the Kobe AD utilizes something what you've probably most likely seen before, which is the Kobe 10. Kobe 10 utilizes the same exact setup, while the Kobe 11 utilizes a drop-in midsole, the lunar foam in the forefoot, and a heel zoom unit on the heel. Unless you get the Nike ID, where you get the full-length zoom unit as a drop-in midsole. However, this one doesn't have a drop-in midsole, and the cushioning setup is completely integrated into the midsole itself. In terms of responsiveness from the cushioning, I didn't get much responsiveness as I would from maybe the Kobe 11, and the Kobe 10 itself didn't have as much feedback as I would like to personally. But the cushion setup is something that I do not prefer. But if you like something really low to the ground, and like that type of setup personally yourself, particularly for guards who like to stay low to the ground, this shoe would most likely be for you. But as a big man for myself, I might have to pass on it. Materials on the Kobe AD uses what they call a breathable mesh, which I really didn't find it overly breathable at all, and uses fly wire on occasions in regards to the lacing system. I can't say I really like the materials, minus the factor of what they use, I guess a synthetic suede on the heel, which felt really nice. The TPU heel counter with the shiny Kobe sheath logo, and maybe the rubber content. But other than that, the materials really don't stand out for a signature model itself. It's something they've utilized often on previous other models, so I was expecting to see something more outlandish, especially even though Kobe's retired. If you're going to continue a signature line, I expected more in regards of a higher quality material, especially for a price range of $160. I do believe that there's an elite version coming out, so towards the future you might see a fly weave or fly knit pattern of the Kobe, what they have previously utilized in the Kobe 11 Elite, Kobe 10, and so forth and so forth. But however, the particular materials on this model is not something of my liking. It did keep my foot at bay. The materials didn't stretch overly too much, so the materials were good in regards of that. But other than that, the materials utilized made the shoe really stiff, which I really don't like. Even fit of the Nike Kobe AD. Fit is fine. I do, again, have a wider foot base, so I had it, and it fits well on occasion, but once you start playing, due to the way the fly wire is utilized in regards of lacing up and tying you tight, the fly wire actually pinches onto the side of my feet. So I had to go through the concept of playing in the shoe a lot, causing a lot of pain. It was pressing the fly wire itself material, even though it's backed by some some type of nylon from the tongue, which is a really thick tongue that kind of digs into the front of your feet, which I don't like. I had to play around where I had to unlace the shoe quite often, unlace the laces off the flywire itself on, you know, a lot of pressure points where I had on my feet. So this is what I removed it from the second eyelet, and once I did that, the shoe kind of loosened on a lot of the pressure points where it was pinching into my feet. So while the fit is good, if you do have a wide foot, it's probably not recommended that you do try this, but if you do, I mean, if you're a Kobe fan, if you want to wear it casually, it will work great. But if you're going to play ball in these and you tie these really tight and you're playing in it, being the fact that the shoe itself is really stiff, you might want to be careful, and you might want to tread on trying out unlacing the laces between the you know, the flywire looping system to keep for containment, because sometimes the materials do press onto your feet a little bit too much, and it causes a lot of discomfort. So that's support overall good, not outstanding, not great, not something I would, you know, it's not outstanding in regards to because it's a Kobe line. I expected a lot more. Of course, the fit was fine, which if you don't have a proper fit shoe, the support's just going to be out the window. The really thick rubber TPU plate on the back really keeps your foot locked in. The flywire lacing, if you have a narrow foot, you should be perfectly fine. So once you're laced up, you're pretty much not slipping out at all. I didn't have any issues with that. Other than that, the support's fine, keeps you in place. If you like the low to the ground feel, especially with the lunar foam midsole and the zoom heel, you might like this. Is particularly for guards or people who prefer to slash to the basket a lot. But if you're someone like me or someone who's older who need the more responsive cushioning, consider the KD9 or, you know, the Crazy Explosive, Adidas Crazy Explosive, etc., stuff like that, or the Zoom Hyper Rev 2016, or the LeBron Ambassador 8. However, for those of guards who like low to the ground feel and like the feel of on the court, this is something to consider in regards to support. Overall, what do I think of the Kobe ADs? As a visual aspect, it looks pretty dope. From a performance aspect, I think it's 2 steps back for Nike and the Kobe line, signature line itself. The materials are super stiff. The cushioning, although I believe it's bottom loaded, it wasn't as responsive as I wanted it to be, especially when I'm like pressing my feet down, especially on landings or trying to grab a rebound or trying to get my first step. Unable to, because I am feeling lower to the ground, but in regards to feedback from, you know, from applied pressure upon landing on my feet, it's too much feedback on my knees, and I'm feeling a lot of pain in regards to playing with this. The stiff tongue, the materials utilized, it's an extreme step, not extreme, but like a big step back, because it's a signature line. I expect, you know, elite materials, fly weave, like soft fly weave or fly knit, that wraps or hugs really well around foot. It's almost like a recycled design. Like they use an influence from maybe the Kobe 11, Kobe 10, Kobe 9 low cuts and just put it all into one. Yeah, it is utilizing these aspects to make a shoe a little bit better, or make the next model or signature model better. But we expected a little bit more, particularly from Nike, because, you know, their innovation. I did feel like there was a lack of innovation, especially when you have so much better materials, so much better cushioning to utilize, particularly in their signature model shoe, especially when it's Kobe's AD, like afterlife shoe. You want to continue the legacy. However, the legacy is kind of a disappointment because it really doesn't perform as well as I wanted it to. If you're a guard that likes low to the ground aspect, likes the feel on court, this will most likely be for you. If you're a big man, I would probably look somewhere else, especially if you are of elder statesman and have pain in your knees or, like, you know, body aches and stuff like that, like I do. But, you know, it's something I would pass on. And that's pretty much it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That is the sneaker performance review of the Nike Kobe AD. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. If you want to purchase this particular shoe, I will make sure to leave links down in the description box so you can purchase them there. Did this shoe, or whoever owns it, work particularly well for you as it did not for me? Are you waiting for any particular colorways? Did you like the cushion setup? Did you feel the materials were feeling really stiff on foot? Are you waiting for the elite version? Stuff like that. If you want to hit me up on social media, you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter on nyjumpman23.com. For all your other sneaker related news and performance reviews, make sure you hit up Weartesters.com. And that's pretty much it. This is NY Jumpman 23 from Weartesters.com signing out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I'm out. Peace.